Hello there. Welcome again to another live stream here in your channel, The Lazy Arquitecto. I'm Irving and I'm showing up here each Saturday or Sunday with a new live stream, a new way to work more efficient in AutoCAD, either by sharing some tips and tricks, creating some custom commands, dynamic blocks, and so on. Basically, anything that we can share here in this channel regarding AutoCAD. That's what we do, right? Again, each Saturday or Sunday. So before we start today's live stream, which is going to be a very useful and helpful information regarding AutoCAD, I like to go on the comments and say hi to you. Just um, see what are you up to, where are you guys connecting from, and so on. So let me go to the chat. We have 4 people connected already. That's great that you are here with me today again with another live stream regarding AutoCAD. Um, so yeah, where are you guys connecting from? You can answer that on the chat. We have our first comment of the day. Uh, he says, "Hi, sir, big fan. Sorry, I cannot read or pronounce your name because it's in a different language, but that's okay. Uh, so thank you for being here today. Um, yeah, so again, before we start today's live stream, I just wanted to do some housekeeping and also um, give you a nice or good information, which is we're gonna have a contest today. Yes, so we're gonna pick a winner from today's live stream, and we're gonna give you, if you are the winner, of course, a free one of my courses for free, which is let me show it to you really quick. Is this course um, 100 AutoCAD tricks for you? So that's what you are gonna get. If you are the winner, of course, this is a 2 hours uh, downloadable video with a list of 100 AutoCAD tricks in PDF. So again, pay attention to the whole live stream because I'm gonna ask one question, and if you answer right, you're gonna be the winner of this course. All right. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention for today's live stream. And we have 4 people connected. That's awesome that you guys are here. Where are you connecting from, right? For instance, Dominic says, I'm from South Africa. Nice, Dominic. That's awesome that you guys are connecting from all over the world, right? So, right now I'm in the US, in Pennsylvania. So, that's where I'm from. I mean, that's not where I'm from. I'm from originally from Peru in South America, but I'm living here in the US. So thanks, Dominic, and thank you for being here again with another live stream. So yeah, we're gonna start this live stream very soon. Um, so stay tuned for the contest if you want to win the course 100 tricks, 100 AutoCAD tricks for you. um, so which I'm gonna ask one question by the end of this live stream, and if you answer correctly, you're gonna be the winner. All right. So I think we're ready to start today's live stream. We have 4 people connected. That's awesome that you guys are here with me today. Um, and we have another comment. I'm from Dubai, Ruman. Okay, that's nice. Dubai. Yeah, I know that country just by some friends that I know they are from Dubai, but that's awesome. Um, we have another person connected. Rumi Rockstar says, "You're great, sir. I'm from Dubai." Oh, two people from Dubai. That's awesome. All right. Thank you guys for participating on the chat. That's great that we can have that interaction. Here it's more fun, right? um right, we have 5 people connected already. I think we're ready to start. um all right, guys. For people who just arrived, we're having a contest by the end of this live stream to win a course, 100 AutoCAD tricks for you. That's the name of the course. So if you are interested, simply pay attention to the whole live stream, because I'm going to ask one question. If you answer correctly, you'll be the winner. All right. So I think we're ready to start. And I'm very excited for today's live stream because it's going to be very helpful for you to save time in AutoCAD. All right. So let me start over here. All right. Okay. All right. During a client consultation, we discovered the time he was wasting adding wall tags to his drawing. Every day, he used to copy one of his wall tags around, rotate it, and fix or copy some of its pointers around. You could imagine how tedious this task could be if there were many items needing this wall tag. Anyway, with some optimization techniques, we were able to simplify my client's life and save plenty of time. Do you want to know how we did it? All right. So, one of the first things that we did in order to simplify my client's life, right, was to scale this block to the correct scale, right? Because as you can see, he was using a dynamic block, right? That he created it. You can see over here, it was a dynamic block with a couple of polylines or lines to represent his wall tag. But there were problems because you can see the base point for the block was not on the correct location, which will cause headaches and problems because you can see over here the text is not on the correct location, right? So again, one of the first things that we did was make sure that make sure that the um, block has the correct scale, and in order to do that, we utilized the following. This chart over here that will help us with setting up some of the scales so he could scale his block more efficient, right? For example, we can see over here that the block that he was using, uh, if we open it, the property palette, we saw that the scale was 48, right, for this block. So then I proceeded to check on my scale chart the factor of 48, and so that was for 1/4 of an inch drawing a scale. So I went and checked over here. So all I needed to do then was at 48, he was using 4.5 inches no for the notes or text. You can check that, or how I checked it was simply double clicking on the attribute and went to the text options, and I could see that the height was 4.5 inches. So again, checking on my chart over here at 48 scale factor, he was using 4.5 inches. So that will give me 330 seconds for the notes at 1 inch equals 1 inch. So that was important for the reason that now I could simply, what I did was copy one of his blocks over here, right? Like so. And then I scale it down. So that's the first thing that we did, scale it down to a size of 1. Okay, 1 over here, 1 also on each direction. And we will have his block like so, right? So then the second thing that we did was, once we figured out the scale, if it was right, and the text size that we needed for his block, right? We proceeded to explode his block. That's the second thing that we did, right? Using the regular explode command. And the reason why we did it is to utilize again some of this geometry that he was using, as well as the correct text with the styles that he was using. In this case, red, that was the style, and also some of the colors, right, that he was using. So this was to have a reference, right? So the third thing that we did was um, add a attribute definition to his block, right? So for that, I could simply move this up to keep it as a reference. And what I did is add again an attribute definition using the shortcut ATT, right? And so over here for the tag information, I said tag number. For the prompt, I said enter tag number. And then for the default, this was very important because the wall type that he used the most was W1A. So that's what I included on the default, right? Because when he inserted this block, this would be the one of the most used wall types, W1A. So then for the justification, I always like to set to middle center so it keeps in the middle of the tag. And then the text style red, that's the one that my client used. So for the text height, we set 330 seconds. That was based on the chart and based on the standard of my clients. Again, at 48 scale, he was using 4.5 inches for the text. So that means he was using 330 seconds of an inch for the text at 1 inch equal 1 inch. That means a 1 to 1 scale. So 330 seconds, that was fine. And then I'll simply say, okay. And I placed it on the middle of this tag like so, right? So again, to match my client's standards, I change it to color red like so. All right. So that's the third thing that we did. And the fourth thing that we implemented was convert this into a block. So for that, we simply select all of the objects and use the shortcut V for block. And then we could create the block, right? At this point, we rename it. So wall tag. And then we said, okay. So at this time, we could specify the insertion point, and we had to be very strategic here because we needed the insertion point on a location that when my client inserts this block, it could make sense, right? He wouldn't have to again move its object around. So that's why I picked it in the center of the block, like so. All right. So at this point, this was a regular block. However, if my client could start copying this around and adding, however, remember that the wall tag that my client was using had these lines over here, right? So I wanted to also have those lines, but being only one single object. So the way we did it was implementing a fifth step. And the fifth step, the fifth thing that we did was um, converting this into a multi-leader. And the way we did it was, of course, I don't need this anymore, so let me erase it. So the way we converted to a multi-leader was opening the multi-leader style, right? Multi-leader style. And then over here, mm, but we have a question, so we can proceed. And the question is from Dominic. It says, isn't it good standard to set color by layer and have a layer control the color? That's a great question, Dominic. However, this depends on the office standards, right? For my client, he always liked to have the red color for the text for his wall text. So yeah, that depends on a preference, but of course, it's a good practice to have it also uh, color by layer. Some other firms like to have it color by block. So there are many options, but again, this is a personal preference for my client. But that's a great question, Dominic. So that's good that you guys are paying attention because I'm gonna ask one question for a big giveaway of a contest. So if you are a winner, you will uh, win this AutoCAD course, 100 tricks for you. So yep. So let's keep moving now. So now that we have the multi-leader dialog box open, I needed to create a new style, right? And the way I did it was to start with the standard, which is the one that comes with AutoCAD, right? And then create a brand new by clicking over here. So the name of my multi-leader will be uh, wall tag, and then I proceeded to say continue. So at this point, I have this new dialog box. And again, the first thing that I changed was the content. So for the content, I changed the multi-leader style. Instead of being mtext, I changed it to block, right? And the source block was uh, it's not in here anymore, but I wanted to reuse the block that we just created. So I checked the user block, and then I found my block, which was, I believe, wall tag, right? So it's right here, wall tag. And then I clicked OK. So you can see an update over here, which was the multi-layer. So then the next thing I did was go to color, and I changed to by layer. So like so. Next, I went to the leader structure, and then over here, what I did is uncheck the automatic include automatic landing. So once I did that, you can see that there is no landing now over here on the preview for the multi-leader. That's what we needed. And then another thing that we did was go under the leader format and then change the color to magenta. Again, that was a personal preference for my client because based on his plot style, magenta color will print lighter. So that's again a personal preference. And then finally, for the arrowhead, we didn't need an arrow for this wall tag. So the way we did it is simply under the symbol checked none. And you can see here on the preview that we had no arrow anymore. All right. So that's all we did and simply clicked OK. Of course, we needed to make this current. So I click set current and then click close. All right. So at this point, we created a multi-layer. So the next thing that we did, of course, this would be I believe, the sixth the sixth thing. And what we did was, so now that my client will try the multi-layer, right? So like so, um, of course, following the instructions, um, it says specify insertion point for block. So let's say I needed to specify the insertion point over here, like so. And then it's saying specify leader arrowhead location. So I will specify here, like so. All right. So, but as you can see, there was one problem over here because the size of the multi-layer was coming very, very tiny. So this is the number 16 that we did, which was fix the scale of the multi-layers, right? And for that, what we did is use the M liter scale option or system variable inside AutoCAD. And this will help us to always have the multi-liter sizes correctly. So what we did is, again, is asking to enter the value, and this value always will come from the scale chart over here. So depending on the viewport that you are using, um, so the viewport scale, right, over here in AutoCAD, let me show you. So that's the viewport over here. So depending on that scale over here, that's what you are gonna use for the multi-liter scale. So but my client was using 1/4 scale for his viewport. So that was 48 factor. So that's what we're gonna use. So liter scale, and again we set it to 48 and press enter. So once we did that and we try it again, the multi-liter, um, so we can see that the scale was not a problem anymore. It came to the correct size. So at this point it says specify insertion point. So he could simply click like so and then add his arrow either here or either down like so, right? So that was very easy for my client to do, right? To start adding wall tags. However, there was another problem that was whenever he needed to add another leader. So, for instance, if he needed to add, let's say, a line over here to this other wall, he will have to add leader, right? And then point like so quickly. However, this didn't look right because this line supposed to go from the middle, right? Like so. So that's the number 7 thing that we did was fix this issue. And the way we did it was opening, before we have a comment on the chat, says Rumi Rockstar, good to hear, and it is so clear to understand. Also, thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, Rumi, for still being here with us today. And let's keep moving. So again, the number 7 thing that we did was to fix this issue, right? Was opening the multi-leader style dialog box. And then there was of course, after uh, clicking modify, there was a nice option over here under content that says attachment insertion point. So you can see that the attachment is going from this side, but we wanted to go from the center. So what we did was expand this and click insertion point. And take a look what's going to happen over here on the preview once I do that. So insertion point, and boom, you can see that now it's going to come from the center of our multi-leader. So all I did was click OK and simply hit close, and boom, you can see now how nice and clean it looks. So again, at this point, again, he could simply say multi-leader, or he could also simply use the add selected option, right? and simply select this block and then start implementing some of his wall tags like so, and of course keep adding leaders like so. See how easy it was to add some of these wall tags. So my client was very happy because now he doesn't have to waste time adding door tags, and it's even fun, right? It's not tedious anymore. It's so easy to start adding these wall tags. He could simply change whatever he need at this point, maybe W3 and so on. All right. So yeah, here you have it. What do you think about this way of adding wall tags to a floor plan using blocks and multi-leaders? Isn't that easier, right? All right. So let's go to the comments now and uh, talk about this way of adding wall tags or basically anything that you want to talk about today about AutoCAD, right? And of course, I'm going to ask the question for today's contest. The question to win, let me show it to you, to win this course, 100 AutoCAD tricks for you, right? Again, this is a 2 hours downloadable video with a list in PDF of 100, more than 100 AutoCAD tricks actually. So yeah, so the question was, or is, sorry. So the question is, but before I ask the question for the contest, we have another comment on the chat, and it's Rumi says, of course it's easier. It will save a lot of time. Yeah, Rumi, you're right. Not only that, but it's fun now. It's more fun, right? To add uh, wall tags because you just move, add your leader lines so quickly and nicely without having to move single lines around and rotate lines, which was a waste of time. So before, yeah, thanks for participating, Rumi. We have 6 people connected. That's great that you are with me here. And then Dominic is asking, can also create an annotative M style for the tag. That's correct, Dominic. However, when I gave this option to my client, he wanted to keep things simple. Because he was from an old kind of an old school of working in AutoCAD. So yeah, I didn't want to give my clients the annotative options because again, you will need to know all of these different settings and system variables to control your annotative objects. So again, that's a headache that my client didn't want to deal with. So that's why we kept things simple and we use this scale chart that I just showed you to scale his um, wall tags accordingly. So yeah, but that's a great annotation, Dominic, or a great comment. All right, so the question to win this contest is gonna be, what system variable did I use to control the size or scale of my multi-leaders? So that's the question, and the first person who answers on the chat right now is going to be the winner of the course 100 AutoCAD tricks for you. Okay, so I'm waiting for the correct answer. The question again is, what is the system variable that I used to control the scale or size of my multi-leaders? Here you have it. Who's going to be the winner? So let me put this over here on the side. I'm waiting for your response to win this course of 100 AutoCAD tricks for you. All right, guys, give me your answer. It's going to be the winner of winning this free course that I'm going to, it's usually $10, but you can have it for free if you, here we go. Uh, Dominic is saying, we have a couple of, so Ash Hook, it says text size. That's not the right answer. Text size, that's not the right answer. Dominic, Dominic is saying M liter scale, and that is correct. Dominic, you are the winner. That's the system variable that I used to scale my multi-liters accordingly. So yeah, we have a winner, guys. Dominic, uh, Room is saying Batman command. That's not right, Batman command. But we already, thanks for trying though. But we already have a winner. Dominic, congrats. So uh, when we finish today's live stream, just um, give me your email on the comments, or you can email me also. You know, all of my information is on my channel. So, but yeah, just remind me by the end of this live stream, so I can send you this course for free. All right, Dominic, congrats, by the way. Rumi is saying to use all attribute block to change Batman. Uh, yeah, I mean, but that's not what I asked, Rumi. I asked what system variable did I use on the live stream, during the live stream, to change the scale of my multi-liter, right? The size. So yeah, that was the question, but we already have a winner. But thanks for participating. We have 9 people connected still. That's awesome that you guys are here with me. I hope you learned something useful today, right? A quick way to add wall tags in AutoCAD. Rumi says, so sad I lost. Rumi, you were paying attention then during the live stream because I um, I was clear on what commands and system variables I used. Maybe for the next time you will win, so don't be sad, Rumi. Oh boy. All right, guys. So, do you have any questions or suggestions for the channel or regarding AutoCAD? Um, yeah, so just let me know on the chat before we wrap up today's live stream. Um, so, all right, guys, if there are no questions at this time, I think we're ready to wrap up. Thank you for being here today, and as always, this today's live stream came thanks to my supporters, people who believe in my work, either as a YouTube member or Patreon, and you can watch this other AutoCAD video, and I'll see you over there.